a minute before we get started. Oh, even louder?
Yes.
There you go. Yes? Sounds like that's me. We okay? Hear in the back? Anything you hear from the tower? Okay. At some point, I guarantee one of these is going to fly off into the front. Steve's here. We can get started. All right. Welcome. Thank you, everyone. My name is Kip Bredimus. I am the Chief Nursing Officer here at Memorial Hospital, and we are in our O'Shaughnessy courtyard this morning to celebrate our Nurses Week, Hospital Week, Professional Excellence Award Ceremony. I appreciate you all coming out today. I know it's a little warm out here today, a little breezy, so that's nice. We'll get the breeze, but unfortunately you may have to chase your masks and signs as they go going down the corridor. So we'll do the best that we can. At this point, I would be honored to have Chaplain Harwood come up and give us our invocation for today's ceremony.
Thank you, Kit. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see each and every one of you. And let me take just a moment. I want to say thank you to all of you for your care and concern that you've shown to my wife and me over the last year or so with all the health issues and different things that I've gone through. I think, let me back up and just say, I'm very, very grateful to each and every one of you. There's so many that it's too many for me to be able to name individually. So thank you so very much. So how about a great big round of applause for all of our hospitals? Now let's pray. Our gracious Father, as we join together in prayer to ask for your blessing upon this special time, the 2022 Midland Health Professional Excellence Awards Ceremony, we thank you for your everlasting love and your gracious grace. We thank you for every member of the Midland Health staff, and we especially commit all who are being recognized today for their exemplary commitment to the mission and calling of healthcare. We honor them, and in turn, may each of us be renewed in our own commitment to be instruments of compassion for the hurting, encouragement for the downtrodden, and comfort for the sorrowful. May your blessing be upon this ceremony, as well as our special guests, the members of our executive team, and all who are in attendance. We offer this prayer unto you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Dave. All right, so at this point, I want to give just a very brief history of how we celebrate Nurses Week and Hospital Week. It is every May 6th through 12th, and that is to recognize Florence Nightingale's birthday. Today is Florence's birthday, so this is when we internationally recognize Nurses Day, and it's also coordinated into Hospital Week because that she was also not only the mother of modern nursing, but also the mother of modern healthcare operations. She figured out supply chain, she figured out all kinds of great things. And so that's why I'm going to have Dr. Carol Boswell come up and give us a Nightingale tribute and give us a little bit of background to Florence Nightingale.
Me to speak for a few minutes. As I was doing this, a statement made by Vicki Rogers reflects the role of the nurses in our current society. The statement goes, strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't do. And that's what I really think happens with y'all here at Midland Memorial. Y'all have been phenomenal. As I began to think about Florence Nightingale and the COVID-19 pandemic, and the thoughtful ideas for encouraging you during this ceremony, my thoughts turned to the preeminent war. While she engaged with the situation at the ward was not Nightingale's first encounter with the health community, it was a key confrontation which directed her path toward key parts. She found soldiers wounded and dying amid horrifying sanitary conditions. The resulting outcome for her was focused on her concerns about sanitation and its relationship to mortality, as well as her ability to lead, to organize, and to get things done. That these same concerns were paramount as each of you in our healthcare community confronted the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 18 months. As nurses, we were called to carefully consider sanitary conditions and mortality, with the requirement to lead, organize, and get things done. Nurses stepped up just like Florence did to do what we do best. We stepped out of the normal ways of getting things done and looked at innovative approaches that we carefully considered and implemented. Evidence-based practice was utilized to ensure that the patient and families were managed in a holistic manner. We, as the primary face of healthcare, pulled from multiple avenues to meet the needs of the individual seeking care during this stressful and confusing time. We carefully took the best evidence to meet those needs to manage the total person by incorporating iPads for communication and different things that were needed. Nightingale looked for the best way to meet the needs of those soldiers during the war. You, as the nurse at the bedside and in the trenches, had to look to different ways to lead, organize, and get things done also. The Academy of Nursing reflected this year on the traits that nurses employ to provide holistic care. Those three traits were evident in the work done here at Midland Memorial Hospital during this stressful and confusing period. The first trait was the power of voice. Nurses were front and center at the table as decisions were being made about the care to be given along with the transition to the care of the community population. The patients here in the hospital were not the only ones that you considered and managed. Your voice was heard. The second trait identified by the Academy was courage. As you consider each aspect of the care of the patient in-house, family members who were disconnected from those patients, and the needs of the community, courage was demonstrated over and over. The great stories that I've heard during this year reflected the courage and persistence demonstrated on a daily basis. The final trait was identified as leadership. As the nurses engaged at the table to provide insight and recommendation, the leadership skills and ability were magical. The hugs, pats on the back, and recognition for the many different ways that nurses stepped up to demonstrate the same strength and determination established by Florence Nightingale for the safety and management of patients must be an ongoing expectation. You have been stellar. You have been a new air lady with the lamb. While you may not have actually carried a lamb, you did the same commitment for the people you are responsible for caring about their health and awareness. In closing, I came across a definition of a nurse, which I see acted out over and over here at Midland Memorial. The determination, innovation, and leadership demonstrated by the nurses here matches this definition. The definition reads, to go above and beyond the call of duty, the first to work and the last to lead, the heart and soul of caring, a unique soul who will pass through your life for a minute and impact it for an eternity, an empowered person whom you may meet for only a 12-hour period, but who will put you and yours above theirs. And that's what I saw y'all do over this period of time where y'all have dealt with COVID and all of the other things. So thank you, and give yourselves a big hand of applause.
Thank you, Dr. Boswell. Another round of applause for Dr. Boswell. All right, it is now my honor to recognize this week we had a ceremony at City Council, City Chambers, to do the Nurses Week Proclamation, and we are honored today to have members of the Midland City Council here with us today. We will have Councilman Ladd come up in just a moment and read the proclamation, say a few words, but at this point I would like to recognize our City Council members. If you please stand and be recognized, turn the crowd and praise. All the hard work that you put in. I know, obviously, COVID has been a challenge for everyone, and let alone those in city leadership and management. We know it's been quite a challenge, so we appreciate your hard work and dedication. So with that, we will have the reading of the proclamation. I'll ask Jack Ladd to come on up.
Thank you guys so much for having us. I can't begin to express the gratitude that we at the city have for each and every one of you. I've known Kid my whole life. God bless. and he's one of the best men I've ever known. And if he's even half the representation of the people that are sitting here today, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And I can't imagine what it was like over the past 2 years for you guys, having to stay away from your own family members. Many of my nurse friends were having to sleep in garages so that they wouldn't get their families potentially sick, or not even getting gratitude from some of the people you were helping the most. Walking around, and at this hospital during the pandemic, I just saw y'all's brave faces and just saw the exhaustion in each of your eyes, but you each kept on going. I just can't thank y'all enough. So with that, I will read today's proclamation on behalf of the City Council. Whereas nurses in the United States constitute our nation's largest healthcare professionals and whose impact on healthcare is unparalleled, directly affecting the health and well-being of our society. And the depth and breadth of the nursing profession meets the different and emerging healthcare needs of the American population in a wide range of settings. And whereas the American Nurses Association, as the voice for nurses in this country, is working to chart a new course for a healthy nation that relies on increasing access to primary and preventive health care, and a renewed emphasis on primary and preventive health care will require better utilization of all our nation's nursing resources, and professional nursing is an indispensable component of the safety and quality of care of vulnerable populations, serving as trusting advocates who ensure individual families and communities receive quality patient care. And whereas the demand for nursing services will be greater than ever because of the aging American population, the continuing expansion of life-sustaining technologies and explosive growth of home health care services, and more qualified nurses are needed in the future to meet the increasingly complex needs of healthcare consumers in this community. And whereas the cost-effective, safe, and high-quality healthcare services provided by nurses will be an increasing important component of the United States healthcare delivery system in the future, and whereas along with the American Nurses Association, Texas Nurses Association has declared May as Nurses Month with the theme Nurses Make a Difference, to honor the varied roles of nurses and their incomparable impact on health and healthcare, and an open invitation to thank nurses for enriching our lives in the world we live in. Now therefore, I, Jack Ladd, on behalf of the Mayor of Midland, Patrick Payton, of the City of Midland, do hereby proclaim May 6th through 12th, 2022 as Nurses Week in Midland, Texas. Councilwoman Blonde, Councilman Prowlis, and Councilwoman Poole for showing up today. And Councilman Dupper. Thank you guys for showing up, and I think that just shows how committed we are at the city to what y'all have done, and thank you guys for letting us come and celebrate with you. I don't think there's enough awards on that table today. Thanks.
Thank you for giving that back. I was really worried. I didn't coordinate with Jack beforehand. I was worried he was going to start telling some stories. We go way back. So good. At this point, I lost my agenda. Here we go. So at this point, we'll have the presentation of Professional Excellence Awards We will have some members of our executive team come up today to present these awards. These awards recognize our hospital employees, nursing and non-nursing. Everyone throughout the entire organization has opportunities to be nominated for these awards. Give a little bit of background behind each of these awards, and then later we'll move to the Nurse Choice Awards. So at this point, I will have Wes Mark come up and introduce himself. Wes.
Good morning. My name is Wes Mark. I'm the Vice President of Ancillary Services, and I get to present behind the scene hero award. The description of this person starts with, "This is one of the most selfless individuals I've ever had the pleasure to work with. He has one of the most difficult jobs, but he is always there to perform with compassion and determination to do his best. I don't recall a time I've ever seen him upset or angry, and he has never once complained about his duties. You can tell he cares about his patients by the type of care he provides. He is a joy to have on the team. He is a team player and doesn't have to be asked to assist his patients. He is constantly rounding and checking on his customers to make sure they have what they need. He communicates well with the nursing staff to make sure they know what care he is providing his patients. Several nurses have mentioned they love to work with him, and they wish him every PCA was as hardworking as he is. He doesn't ask for or seek praise. He just works, and he doesn't have a lead. He believes his position is important to the patients, and he just is doing it. He received multiple compliments from patients on the care he provides. He is an excellent example of our culture at MMH, and I'm honored to work with him." The Behind the Scenes Hero Award goes to Jesus Ramirez. So we'll get into the word later.
Steve Bowerman, President, Chief Operating Officer. Before I recognize the Emerging Leader Award for the year. I also want to recognize the City Council again. They were a great partner for the last 26 months. They were available for all of our conferences. They provided significant funding for starting our infusion clinic. They provided significant funding for staff pay to recognize the hardship that we were under. They were just a really great partner during that time. Thank you. I think we've come a long way, and we showed the world how a hospital and city and county partner, fire departments, and all of our vaccine clinics. It was a fantastic partnership. Comforting knowing that we have a partner like you. Secondly, I saw Florence. Is she here? There she is. I learned something new about Florence every year, and Kit brought up supply chain. So I was wondering if when we're done here, would you fly to Washington and go and solve our problem? It'd be great if you could help with that. Okay, the 2022 Midland Memorial Hospital Emerging Leader Award. She is a preceptor on our unit and is also a leader on the floor. She always has a positive outlook on her shift and never allows a bad day to affect the way she leads, teaches, or interacts with other nurses. After transferring to our unit, she instantly got involved, wanting to grow her knowledge, and began working toward her certification and then her ladder advancement. She is a board-certified PCU nurse and is a clinical ladder 5 RN. She is a true nurse advocate and listens to her team when they are needing help and direction. She is a nurse that spends her time researching EVP ways to improve our unit retention and getting the nurses involved. Her time in the team lead role, rounding with her nurses, never allowing a nurse to feel overwhelmed with their work or patient. One of the things I appreciate about her the most is her sense of humor. She is always lighthearted and never takes anything too serious. During COVID surges, we have found that she is the person to go sit next to after an intense round of CPR or a difficult situation or conversation. She can always lift you up and put a smile on your face. That's really important aspect of leadership. Recently, she has approached her leadership on the 5th floor about expanding the PCU nurses' competencies, encouraging the unit to branch out and take care of sicker PCU patients, more complicated neuro patients, and EKAs. She believes that this will allow these nurses to feel challenged and more engaged while also providing support to the ICU nurses by decreasing their workload and low acuity ICU patients. This year's Emerging Leader Award goes to Lindsay Graves. She also appeared in the People's Next is going to be the Innovator Award for the same award.
As Stephen said, thank you, Council, for your support. The hospital, we appreciate it. We did other things that we needed to do for our staff. So again, thank you. As Stephen indicated, my name is Stephen. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the organization. I'm pleased to be here and blessed to be here. I'm going to be presenting the Innovator Award. This person is always challenging the status quo, thinking of ways in which Midland Memorial can improve in order to better serve the community of Midland. In response to a new rule passed by the Texas Board of Nursing, she was able to implement the immersion clinical program for UT/ED students. This was a novel concept that she brought to life in a matter of weeks. And Midland Memorial Hospital is one of just a handful of hospitals in the entire state to implement a program of this nature. It promotes professional growth of the nurse interns who will then graduate and join the organization as strong, competent nurses. The immersion clinical experience creates a stronger sense of community between the nurse interns, the designated preceptors, and the other staff on the units. This program also assists the nursing programs by assisting with clinical site placement, which can be very competitive and challenging for the schools. During COVID, our core staff members were bearing an extremely heavy burden. She was able to provide a creative solution using the nurse interns to provide aid to staff under a specific set of guidelines. She was able to create a policy procedure for the program, give them access to systems such as Omnicell and medication holds, arrange training for the interns, and deploy them to assist patient care staff on the floor within a matter of weeks. This year's Innovator Award goes to Cameron Law.
The 2022 Midland Memorial Hospital Leadership Award. The award says, she has implemented many positive changes and new processes to improve our units since becoming clinical manager. She is not afraid to change and actively looks for ways to make our units best it can be. Most recently, she has put in new policies to improve patient satisfaction by improving communication with the patient's family members, including them more in the patient's experience while here with us. She has always encouraged staff to educate themselves, move up the clinical ladder, or improve their expertise throughout the department. She has assisted several RNs in applying and receiving scholarships from the Midland Memorial Foundation. Currently, she is working to bring a new procedure to Midland Memorial that has never been done in Texas, which is now been done. We are also excited our patients won't have to travel outside of Texas to receive this procedure. This year's Leadership Award goes to Kristen Nall.
All right, and I want to jump back in here for the first break. We have Lindsay Graves with us. Come on down, Lindsay. award ceremony. Come on up and come get your award. Congratulations.
Okay, next we have the Professional Development Award. Now, this person is constantly trying to improve herself, advance her professional practice, and motivate others to do the same. She is always engaging in continuing professional development activities and bringing what she has learned back to her colleagues. A constant advocate for professional development in the organization. She is always encouraging staff to be engaged in the professional development ladder. She serves as the co-chair for the PEL committee and assists staff in putting together their portfolios. She presents Midland Memorial Hospital as more than a place for employment, but an organization that values and promotes innovation and continual improvement. This year's Professional Development Award goes to Jenny Midland.
She's on vacation. She's out of the country.
She decided to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Our next award is the Lighting the Way for Excellence Award. Not only is she an amazing team player, she promotes it. She's accountable, dependable, and will do any job that needs to be done. No matter what, she always follows through. Patient care and patient safety is her main focus. She chose the right profession as she shows not only empathy, but is an amazing communicator. Patients and nurses know her by name and ask for her when they call. She treats them as if they are her family. She leads fundraisers for coworkers when there is a need. She advocates for the technicians in our department. She's always quick to hold supplies, answer questions, assist her coworkers, all while being happy. She doesn't mind walking us through any problems that give us trouble. She always makes sure that the meds are pulled and double-checked before the patient receives them. Patient safety is a priority. She communicates well and efficiently with the nurses as well as the patients. She always puts everyone else before herself. She is a very positive person and makes you feel like you are part of the family. This year's Lighting the Way for Excellence Award goes to Shelby Stickles.
No, he's, come on. So you'll come up and present the Nurse Choice Awards. I just wanted to make a brief mention of this. The Nurse Choice Awards are a little bit different award in the fact that these awards are voted on for nurses, by nurses, directly from the nursing staff. So there's no nominations, it is literally a straight vote. So this represents the largest view of the nursing staff and what they view as most important for our physicians and for our preceptor leaders. And I'll hand it over to Steve.
Very cool that our nurses come together to vote on a position of the year. I'm really touched by Shelby. If you don't know how important this is to our staff, if you didn't see her face. If you didn't know when you got here, you know now. I'm not a crier, and it makes me really proud. I know Shelby, but I'm really proud to work with her now. Position of the year, really encouraging to see our staff, as I said, come together and vote on this. The last couple of years, there are obviously a lot of very deserving recipients. It's been a challenging year. The award this year goes to Dr. Orlando Garner. Dr. Garner couldn't be here today. Dr. Garner works on our critical care unit, so he's spent the last couple of years working with the sickest patients in the hospital during COVID, and I can certainly understand why he was recognized by the nursing staff. Congratulations to Dr. Garner. Russell's going to accept the award on behalf of Dr. Garner.
as we come to the end of our ceremony now, we'll move into the nursing specific awards. These ones, I'd like to start out with our Daisy Award recognition. So the Daisy Award is from the Mark and Bonnie Barnes Foundation to the Daisy Foundation. It was started by Mark and Bonnie in recognition of their son Patrick, who died at the age of 33 from ITP. And at a very young age, leaving a wife and a young child, they recognized that while they were in the hospital, they saw the amazing care that nurses provided every day to their son as he went through his journey. Once he passed, they wanted a way to recognize the nurses at that facility for all that they had done for Patrick, and they started what they called the Daisy Award. And from that, it has become the largest nurse recognition program in the world. It is in over 5,000 facilities across not only just America, but in South America, Asia, Europe, and Australia. So it is an amazing program to recognize nurses. It also recognizes not only our frontline heroes, but also Daisy Nurse Leader, Daisy Community Involvement, Daisy Quality, and various other Daisy Awards. I would like at this time to recognize our Daisy Award winners for the past year from May to May for 2022. So we have Juanita Alcorn, Skylar Bennett, Rachel Chapman, Carly Eaton, Bethany Marsh, Debbie Rich, Sarah Salcido, Erica Thompson, and Addie Willen. I embarrassed Carly this morning. She was the last one in our MRT page. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's Carly. I saw you on the MRT. she loved it. Nurses love that. Next, I want to recognize our nurses for the Permian Basin Grade 25. So the Permian Basin Grade 25 Nurses is a group, nonprofit organization that was founded to recognize nurses not only just here in the Permian Basin, but actually the entire Texas Health 2B region. So that's pretty much the border to the basin. That goes all the way to Dawson County, to Howard County, almost to El Paso, and down to the border. So it is a very large area that covers. And we recognize that of that area, of the many, many nominees that we receive every year, we have 10 of our Midland Memorial Hospital nurses who won that award. So I'll read their names real quick. Erin Cardona, Pam Castellano, Crystal Clevenger, Ryan Dublin, Jessica Herrera, Candace Johnson, Sharon McGowan, Katie Robertson, Rosario Romo, and Jennifer Walston. Recognize our Permian Basin Grade 25 by their pins. We also love our pins. So, you see those. All right, and now for the Nightingale Award. So, the history of the Nightingale Award, we started this award several years ago and recognized it as the highest recognition a nurse can receive here at the Memorial Hospital. The Nightingale represents not only a commitment to your patients and to your families that you serve, but also a commitment to each other, to other nurses, to grow the profession, to help precept and really bring that extra level of care, guidance, and professionalism to the bedside. This year, I have the nomination right here. We have an amazing nomination and award winner. I won't say who it is until the very end, but it is always one of our highlights, and we'll see the trophy over here. This is the Florence Flame. So if you can hold that up, Pam, for everybody to see. Don't drop it. All right, so this year's nominee. There is no doubt that she has a commitment to compassion and towards all patients in the hospital, especially on the progressive care unit. Her actions and critical thinking demonstrate a graceful spirit with purpose, mission, and commitment to the best possible care for patients. A spirit of ownership to commit, as well as to be engaged with the patients and healthcare team. She starts her shift first by making physical rounds and being continuously alert, not just for her assigned patients, but the entire PCU. She demonstrates her culture of ownership, commitment, and engagement in caring for patients. She has an undying passion for nursing, especially the anatomy and physiology of the human heart. She takes the time to explain and share the functions of the heart to patients in terms that they can understand. Her actions demonstrate her extensive knowledge and passion. She has a strong awareness of the external factors surrounding a patient and takes initiative to restore the patient's settings appropriately to ensure that the most optimal health is restored. Naturally and gracefully, she conducts a stewardship role in serving the needs of others. Her excellent actions of listening creates an openness with communication, service to patients, persuasion, and a positive work environment. The spirit of making all people feel like partners belong to the elite team serving the patients together. For together, each person brings skill and talents to offer good patient care. She shares her knowledge to enhance skills and help people feel included in the team. A positive mindset demonstrates that optimism daily. Her meticulous actions in her nursing profession demonstrate her pride in caring, committed, engaging the patients in the healthcare team. I believe she is an awesome person, all caps, and a professional nurse who is well deserving of the Nightingale Award. If I am ever a patient in MMH, I would want her to be my nurse. This year's Nightingale Award winner is Ariana Ballerano. Come on in. What we didn't tell her is that she'll have to carry that around all day. Okay, yes, I'm being told. Okay, so for all the award winners, you can collect your boxes here at the end. We'll also have pictures inside because it's a little warm out here. So we'll have pictures inside. Please, if you're an award winner, do not run off before we get your pictures. Otherwise, we'll hunt you down. So we'll make sure it's not out of the liners when we do so. So in the your nominations are also up here, and everyone who was nominated for an award this year, you'll see our award nominees here on this list. We got quite a lot of nominations this year. If you were nominated, you can receive your nomination letter from Pam. She can get that copy to you. Because, again, we all need those pick-me-ups and recognizing that someone took the time to recognize your hard work. Round of applause for all of our nominees this year. And then in closing today's ceremony, again, I just want to thank everyone for their hard work and dedication. Again, this is a team effort. We couldn't be here without each other, and we recognize that nursing plays an immense part of what we do every day, but so does every other support person in this hospital. So does everyone contribute to taking care of our patients in our community. So I appreciate you all for being here today and all the hard work that you commit to every day. We couldn't do it without you. And have a very blessed and happy 2022 Hospital Week this week.